Welcome back. Welcome to the fifth day, the last day of ICTE Training and Learning Academy supported FTP on effective course delivery through Moodle, organized by the Department of Computer Applications, MES College, Marambali. Welcome to session 15 of this FTP. Dear participants, please keep your audio and video muted, but do not forget to use your chat box for communication. Today, we are having a session on emotional intelligence and stress management by Dr. Major SUDHEESH NAIR. SUDHEESH, sir.
Yes.
Shall we start, sir?
Yeah, please.
Thank you, sir. So we are straight away moving on to the session on emotional intelligence and stress management by Dr. Major SUDHEESH NAIR. For that, let me welcome Dr. Julie M. David, Assistant Professor, MES College, Marampalli, to welcome our resource person. Ma'am, please.
Thank you, Indu. A warm good afternoon to all. Thank you to each and every one of you for being here with us today in this last session. I am very pleased to be able to welcome those of you that have been with us for a long time now to the Faculty Development Program. Well, I don't take too much of your time. Let me go to my duty. In this session, our resource person is Dr. SUDHEESH P. Nair. I will say a few words about him. Dr. Major SUDHEESH Nair is a 1996 batch PSc graduate of College of Veterinary and Animal Science, Manuti, and he's a postgraduate in veterinary surgery and radiology from Veterinary College, Bangalore in 2005, and had completed PhD from Kerala Veterinary and Animal Science University in 2021. Dr. SUDHEESH started his career as a veterinary surgeon in Animal Husbandry Department 2004. In 2005, he got selected in the Indian Army Remote Veterinary Corps, where he served as commissioned officer in Army from 2005 to 2010. After relinquishing the meritorious Army services in the rank of Major, he had completed management program from IIM Lucknow through Directorate of Resettlement, Indian Army. Dr. SUDHEESH started his academic career as Assistant Professor of Veterinary Surgery and Radiology at Karnataka Veterinary Fisheries and Animal Science Universities in 2012. In 2015, he joined Kerala Veterinary and Animal Science University, where he is currently working in the Department of Veterinary Surgery and Radiology, College of Veterinary and Animal Science, Manuti. Dr. SUDHEESH had a lot of publications in national and international journals. And he is the recipient of Indian Army High Altitude Meritorious Service Medal with special commendation from Commander 4 Artillery Brigade in June 2009. He was awarded 4 gold medals from Indian Society for Veterinary Surgery national conferences in the years 2013, 17, 18, and 19 respectively. He is also the recipient of Kerala Veterinary Animal Science University Faculty Achievement Award in 2017 and 18, and Indian Veterinary Association Faculty Excellence Award in 2009. Besides working as a resource person in both state and national level for veterinary surgery, Dr. SUDHEESH is also actively involved as guest faculty of Academic Staff College and a soft skill trainer for various professional establishments. And without any welcome you, sir.
Thank you.
Without any further delay, we will go to the session. And thank you all.
Okay, warm good afternoon to one and all. And I would like to get a feedback whether am I visible to you?
Yes, sir, you are visible.
The slides are also okay. You are able to see. Yeah, fine.
Yes.
And I need to get a small gist of who all are attending this particular session. So I just want to know how many of you are from outside of state? Like, can anybody or maybe the coordinator can just give me a small brief about 2 lines about the participants?
Yes, sir. We have participants from 18 different states. Yeah, majority of the participants are from outside Kerala.
That's great. So I should stick on to the English language. Is there anybody? I hope that's fine. Or would you like to? Yeah, fine. So we will be dealing with a very unique topic, the most important topic. In fact, the topic which has got a lot of importance in our day-to-day life, not only that thing, our identification or the level of happiness that every person go through in his life is directly related to the stress. So when I move ahead, I hope participants can switch on their mic and how they are going to communicate with me. Are you able to switch on? Do you have the mic control? You can unmute and speak to some of the queries. Is that fine?
Sir, yes, sir, they can. They can.
They can. Can I get a 1 or 2 feedback from any of these participants? How do you feel? Are you all fine? Can I have somebody just switch on the speaker and speak? Anybody? My specific question is that I will ask you from this question, what do you expect from this session? Can anybody just speak a line so that it will be a great motivation for me to move ahead?
That's absolutely fine.
Okay, so your name, Dr. Krishna Prasad?
Yes, I am Professor Krishna Prasad, HOD Physics from Gitami University, Bangalore.
Excellent, sir. Great to know about you. And what is your expectation from this session, sir?
This is to control the stress what we are feeling and how to manage the stress in our daily life. That's what I can understand.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else has got any other expectations?
Well, hi, my name is Sandeep Goyal.
Yeah.
What I expect from this, like, because we are moving to Moodles, yeah, we are, we are actually going from campus learning to virtual learning, So what I'm expecting is some kind of management system or some kind of techniques which we can learn, which can actually help our students to manage their stress, because of this situation which has been created due to pandemic.
Absolutely true.
Everybody, like not only student, not only faculties, not only the admin, everybody is stressed, and this stress is a different kind of stress. So how to deal within the educational industry, we can say, or within this environment, how we have to manage our stress.
Okay, fine. Anyone else? One more I'll take. Any something different? Because I do have all the things in my mind, but I'm going to take a different route. But I'm sure, and you are not going to get disappointed. I can assure you, because that is my thing. At the end note, I am expecting something. I'll tell you at the end what I was expecting. And definitely, I have no doubt in the procedure that we are going, but I want to know any other different sort of expectations. One more can switch on and say, fine, because you are a teacher. But above all that, you have some other role also, right? You are parents, some of you, definitely. All of us are children also in one way. We have our parents, or we are uncles, we are aunties, or we are also brothers and sisters and buddies to so many people. So if you say about emotional intelligence and stress management per se for a teacher, what exactly the context is demanding is to reduce your stress so that your productivity or output is improved. I agree. That's what the session is all about. But I would like to see it in a different way. Instead of patching up and making just a temporary solution, why can't you deeply understand the pathophysiology and the principles behind the stress, more specifically, the spiritual context of stress and how to get a proper fix to that solution rather than beating around the bush. You may be doubting the credibility because my profile may be entirely different. I'm a veterinarian by profession. But why I am talking to you this subject, definitely few slides after, I will tell you about the life-turning events which I had experienced in one of the monasteries. Now, I am talking to you these things out of straight of life experience, and I know what a stress kind of person I was. And right now, I can assure you, I'm not telling that I have completed all the things and I'm a yogi or somebody of least level, but I can definitely tell you the kind of happiness and peace of mind unconditionally I am experiencing despite the turmoil and chaos, not because of some things, it's specifically because of understanding certain vital principles. So this is what I'm planning to take you to this session. Is that okay? I need just an assurance. Is that fine?
Yes, sir.
Wonderful. I'm going to share experiences. I'm going to tell about the principles. I've taken the subject in such a way that we will first understand what exactly is the stress. What is the role of stress in your daily life and how it is silently killing you without your knowledge. And second thing, we will understand the wonderful principle of emotional intelligence, how it will help you and equip you to go ahead. And third, we will come across the basic systems of modulating this emotional intelligence, but certain finest fine-tuning principles in your life, which you unconsciously you're doing actually, but with consciously, if you start doing that thing, you can see even your vital parameters coming to the normal things. Because I have my own physiological improvement, which I have experienced. And if you're seeing any vitality and vigor in my words and my speech, everything is because of certain type of practices. I'm not here to spread any religion. Sorry, it's totally different. I'm not going to speak about any religion because it's not our topic. But definitely I'm going to tell about certain principles, the science behind the stress, because those who have already walked this path has already documented beautifully that these things will happen. And what do you think? The stress is only new to us in the COVID times? It was the right from the beginning when we were hunter-gatherers. It was the right from the beginning that you are born. The first thing that you do out when you are born is just crying. The first thing that you perform is out of stress you cry, and that stress is actually helping you to start your expanding your lung. From there you start crying, and next to level you go to become when you start your childhood starts, you are struggling and you are crying, and in the stress you are there to stand. Many times you fall down and you start standing. Do you think you are happy? Again you start stressing because you want to run. You started running and you started growing, your bones are developing. Do you think you're happy? It's again going to the next level. You started schooling, yes, the big stress happened. Then you started the college life, again it has begun to the grown up into the different dimensions. Then you got a job, you thought everything is there. No, the real stress starts. And fortunately or unfortunately got married. Wonderful, the new stress events have happened, right? And you are managing with the expectations and you are again going. You just see your life trajectory of any person's. Because at one stage, a stage will come definitely that you start turning back and seeing that I have been running for so many things. Have I got these things in hand really? And what exactly you are going through is a great big dilemma, because we are not understanding the real physiology of things and real outcome of events that is happening into your life. So once again, I welcome you all, and I'm going to take you to the new perspective of stress management through emotional intelligence with certain principles. You all are free to stop me at any time. In fact, I would request you to give your honest comments and your suggestions at the end, so that we have to make it an active discussion. So total time allotted for me is 2 hours, already 20 minutes past. Now I'll be sticking on to my time. I hope 1 hour is more than sufficient to convey the message, and we will have an active discussions. So once again, due respect to all the participants, and my sincere thanks to the organizers and for giving me this opportunity. And let me straight away take you to the world of stress. And of course, I'm going to fix the stress to you to a great extent. So let me just take you to the next slide. To understand the stress, the main principle is that if you can't handle stress, you can't handle success. It's very straight principle. I said you already about the incidents about a human life starts when you are walking, standing. Now you imagine the first day of your professional life, when you joined as an assistant professor in some places, you are asked to take class. So you all have one story to say. Earlier, everybody has got some stage fright or speaking something. A lot of issues people have had. And another thing, you have faced some interviews. You know how the stress was acting on you. You could feel the heartbeat. You could feel the entire warmth, or the body temperature is oozing, and you can see everything, all the physiological or the stress and fright and flight response that happening in your body by adrenaline surge, everything you have experienced closely. So you all have seen stress. My question, is there anybody without stress? You can just switch on your mic and tell. Is there any person without stress? Just not, I'm not talking about you. Do you know anybody who is without stress? Just a wild guess. Anybody can switch on and speak. Let me see. 1 or 2 brainy guys will be there definitely, who will think out of the box and give me a funny answer. Yeah, I welcome any answer from any side. Is there anybody without stress? Anybody? Anybody? Let me ask you, any body without stress?
No.
The only body without stress is the dead body. So don't, however hard we try to avoid the stress, please understand that every life is demanding you to make you stress. Please understand that thing. So start liking stress. The first point. Stress is what I love. Tell yourself. Now you are able to get the solution. Let's see one by one and see what exactly is the Webster's definitions of this thing. It's like body's reaction towards any physical or emotional changes in life, that is stress. Everybody has gone through it in different part of life. Everybody has their own experiences, only you know. Now, it's a psychological imbalance caused due to demanding circumstances and individuals' ability to meet those needs. So it's a balancing thing. Stress is generally happening in two levels. Not all stress are bad for you. Some stress are good for you. I know you remember this difference between eustress and distress in one point of time. Definitely, it might have been taught to you in some other sessions also. I don't know how the sessions have went. Now, let me just give you a clear definition between the eustress and distress. Eustress is a stress that I said everywhere. See, just before an exam, you have a stress that you have not studied. It's going to be positive for you. So eustress is a positive stress. It motivates you. It focuses energy. It's always short term. You have an expiry date you can keep for that stress, and definitely it improves the performance. A simple example is that exam fear, or when you want to prepare something, a last day of submission happens and you are working on that thing out of stress. Sometimes wonderful things will happen. That is a eustress thing. But what is distress? Distress is definitely the negative stress. Nobody in the world would like to go through distress. And it's definitely demotivates, because even if there is a production side in you, you are a wonderful performer. Unfortunately, your boss gives you such a torture in form of distress, you will get demotivated. And it drains energy, because the kind of energy loss that happens in brain through brain and overthinking, you don't know how much glucose requirement is there for the brain for a thinking process. So if you start thinking on a particular thing which is not having a proper solution, you're always stressed. A simple example is that you have a marital problem, you have husband-wife relation, or you have a kid which is actually having a lot of issues which you want to go, or you are into some self-treatment, you are going through a treatment protocol, and you are into an extreme difficult phase. All these things leads to a drainage of energy, and it's having a long-term bad effects, and definitely it reduces the performance. It's been proved scientifically that distress is horrible. It should be avoided. Now, can you avoid the distress? That is our whole discussion. Rather than trying to face it, why can't we stake out the route and we will think on this issue? I was told to take the sessions for this. I have taken sessions for bank officers, police officers, and also for the Kerala Police Academy and all. We keep getting sessions. Now, after every session, I get the feel that stress is something that comes in different colors. You can't even think. You may think that it's only 5 or 6 main causes, but it's no. You can see how people will take things in stressful way. It's very, very different, and start understanding that this is a unique, universal, normal phenomena. But please understand, some stress are good for you and some is bad for you. We are going to deal with the distress principle, that how to deal with the bad stress. Everything is attitude. Throughout the sessions, I would like to tell you that adopting a right attitude only can convert your negative stress into the positive one. This is said by none other than Hansel, has done extensive researches on the stress, on how the biology of stress and how exactly stress happens, or the formula of stress and how it can be reduced and how the body is perceiving stress. He has explained. Now I'm telling about the scientific studies about this thing, and they say if a person wants to change and he has come that, yes, I have a stress and it is a big stress, I know that it is a stress, I am ready, I am having a right attitude to crack the stress, means then the solutions will come. So I want all of you to keep this thing in mind and just see things in an open perspective. You are free to definitely interfere and share your points if you have any issues. So we'll be able to make it clear. Now, I will see. Okay, I forgot. There was some responses. Sorry, somebody has written animals don't have stress. Sorry. Animals have very high stress. Okay. Okay. I missed that chat session. Okay. Now coming to the stress process. Every stress starts with a stressor. The stressors are of different types. Basically, you can say the stressors can, if you classify the stressors, there are different types of headings, but just for your awareness, we can classify it as environmental, psychological, and social stress. A classic example for your environmental stress is that you are put in certain environment where you are always, for example, you have an inspection going on, somebody is coming and you are on the top of the organization. You can't avoid from that stress. Anything goes wrong, that environment is definitely. Another thing, a person is for example, you are getting attacked by someone. So that is an environment that you can't go. It naturally that stressor should happen, and that stressor will definitely go to a eustress in which you will find a solution and escape out of that thing. Psychological stresses definitely we will see in depth. Further slides are on this thing only. And social stress is something like everybody is performing, I should also perform. That is the greatest stress. And social stress is one stress that can happen in the early phases of your life, and it always there for teenagers and youngsters. So just understand this physiology, you'll be able to get better idea. And not all stresses come with the same dimension. Everything is different with their intensity, duration, complexity, and predictability. Now, what happens to these stressors is going to affect your personality in one or other way. And you take certain resources to manage this personality. These resources include physical, example, money. You have to do something and you are stressed out. For example, you have to construct a house and you're highly stressed out. You have to buy and you have to take a loan and solve it out. That is the resources, one thing. Personal skills is something the entire discussion is going to happen. And social support. Now, you are having a problem, but you have good support from your friends. Yes, that is the greatest resource you are going to handle with this problem. And when there is stressors and resources affecting on a personality, the personality chooses to give a response in the form of stress appraisal. That is generally by means of physiological changes happens in the body, behavioral changes happens in the body, emotional changes happens in the body, and cognitive. That means the person's way of thinking also get changed when it comes to the stress. Chronic stress can make people to end up in a different personality. Now, individual case studies have shown that people have changed. Paradigm shift in their personality happens because of certain stress. I'm sure one of you have got one or other stories where you have gone through the stress, and some of our friends are going through stress now also. So you have to reflect upon your life. Our discussion is on the psychological personality and psychological front of your personality, and how you are going to deal with the stress by just being, understanding your mental health, your temperament, and self-concept. I'm going to work on certain solid scientific principles that's going to work, that's going to give a solid strength for you in the self-concept. Cultural, of course, those who are in different part of the places, they are all these things will affect your personality in one or other way. Now, only thing, you cannot change the physical part of your personality, because however you try to make a patch up, you can color your hair and do whatever works you want, but the body is not going to give much change. What is inside that body is not going to change. Cultural, however you try, you can say you try to respond in different way, but with your culture will stay with you wherever you go. Only thing, you have access and you have not used, you have not even known, because the education has not touched in the psychological thing. That is, there is a user's manual given to every individual how to function and manage your psychological way. We have not done it. Now, this is the area where it is required research and require more and more of inputs, especially teachers. The psychological personality of the teacher is going to directly affect, because a trusted teacher is nothing short of a greatest danger for a growing generation. The more you can handle your stress, the beautiful way you can handle the education, and a teacher always lead by examples. And it's a very important quality of the teachers to handle the stress and use the stress for a eustress way. That is his skill. To make people study and perform by means of eustress is okay, but don't get distressed by your own stress, so that your stress will directly transmit to the next generation or in the form of teaching. So this is the importance of this subject, and we are going to see one of the common problems or common reasons for the stress include over anxious about the future, see our environment in the past. I would like to tell you, if I want to tell you to close your eyes and imagine the worst stress happened in your life or going to happen in your life, you will always have answers, because your stress were either in the past or is going to come in the future. Everybody had their own past, which they don't want to remember in one or the particular place in which they have clearly found that they would have performed better or they would have avoided certain incidents in their life. So the past is always taking away your thinking part. And anxiousness is a part and parcel of every individual. And every living creature is anxious because that anxiousness only will help them to equip to perform by use stress. That is, that stress is used for survival of the fittest in the environment. So you can't complain on this too. But the biggest problem is that you are not using the present moment, which is not having any issue. The only problem is after the today or yesterday. And that is the science behind the stress. All stress lies between the past and therefore it is either in the past or in the future. Because the present moment, when you start thinking the thing, you will get only solutions. So solutions are there only in the present moment, and that's where our discussions are going to happen. Majority of the problems happened in your life have happened because you have overestimated difficulties. A simple example, see, many of us have tried for competitive examinations. We know we have performed and we have failed. You ask honestly yourself, you already failed twice. Once you already failed in your mind, and second, you have failed in the physicality, because anything that is materializing in the physicality has already been materialized in your mental thing. That is, mentality happens very clearly, that it already get visualized in your mind. I have better slides to explain this concept. Now, another important thing is over expectation. Sorry for the spelling mistake. Expectation from relations. See, what happens is that expectations always have taken upper hand. And when you are in a relation, you start expecting the person to respond the way you want. And there creates the biggest rift. Now we have relationship issues, biggest issues in relationship, the slides that mentioned, it will make you out of your better idea. And if you want simple example for this thing is, lack of self-awareness is the cause of all stresses around the world. You can challenge me, but after a few slides, if you have any difference of opinion, please throw your points to the forum. We will discuss on that. Now, stress appraisal, I said, when stress happens to a person, the stress is exhibited as physiological way in which you might have all experienced butterflies in the stomach. You are supposed to speak in front of a big audience. And definitely that things will happen because the hormones, everything is hormones in the world, in the body, right from the morning to evening, the 5 pheromones keep shifting in your body in different level. That's why in the early morning you have something and afternoon something happens. Along with that, your biological body keep producing the hormones in different surges in different type of this, cycles. Classic example is that when you are in the periods, ladies experiencing the menstrual bleeding, at that time, what kind of hormones, estrogen surge or what happens in their life. And second thing, a mother's experiencing the thing that is hormones. Another thing, happiness generating the endorphins and serotonins that creates the happiness in you, and adrenaline that creates and make you from this thing. So if you just observe, they say a simple word, what is life? The body. If you say human body or any body, living body, it is nothing but CHONPS. That is, like carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, and phosphorus and sulfur in different combinations makes the entire whole body, bone, hormone, everything. So there is a physical change that is happening with every surge of things. This is uncontrollable, but you can control the physiological thing also because there is something else we'll see. Next is behavioral thing. Definitely you are fine morning, you are walking straight away and somebody just throws something against you. You will retaliate. That is a normal principle. That is behavioral response to stress is absolutely normal. Third thing is emotional thing. That is a most important thing. A person deliberately comes and give you some very bad remarks about you. He will spoil your day. That is the response that you're given for his remark is going to spoil. That is the emotional response. Next day, see, you have taken food and you have void up your stomach also. After 48 hours, you are seeing this person and you are experiencing the same suffering that you've gone through. That is a cognitive disorder of stress. Everybody is passing through the same. In relationship, when this happens, 24 hours cognition happens. Oh, that person has not understood me. See what he has done to me. See how he responded to me. See what a kind of person is that. So cognitive response happens. So emotional and cognitive response is something that is the sole cause of your suffering in your life, because pain is inevitable. You will get physiological pain, you will get behavior alteration, that's fine. It is natural, but emotional and cognitive is optional. Whether to give an emotional value for anything or to give a cognitive response and give it straightly to your mind and keep it for that thing is very important. Because I said in the previous slide that you are overestimating certain things and maybe you are giving over attention to certain things. Let's see how it can be explained. Now, I would like to take you to this new topic of emotional intelligence to explain the stress. Till this point, if anything needs to be cleared, I'm happy to, or if you have any suggestions or if you have any points to make out that how you get stressed, you can always share that thing. Anybody would like to speak? If not, we are going to fix this stress in the subsequent slides. Shall I proceed? One answer.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. We are going to the emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is one sole skill that creates a lot of changes in your life. Unfortunately, there is no formal training in any part of your teaching, in your learning, in which you are taught to handle things in the emotional intelligence way. People gaining PhDs and postdocs and everything will end up in the same level of stress in same situations right now where they are in the 18th year of age. They are going to have the same stress even after the age of 65 or 56 or happening. What is the reason is that they've not learned to the emotional intelligence in any of these ways. Emotional intelligence is the ability to maintain the emotion at certain state, knowing that the key to your emotions lies with you. I will explain you with science how the things happens. The 5 key principles in emotional intelligence include self-awareness, empathy, motivation, self-regulation, and social skills. We will see it one by one and we'll explain it with beautiful pictures, how it can be understood. Now understand that everything happening to you is happening in your mind. Or see, an example is that you can see me speaking in front of this laptop. Where am I? You have 100% answer. You say that you are there in my laptop or you are there in the phone. I say no. The image of me, it is starting from your laptop, goes through your cornea, gets focused in the retina, your optic chiasma transmit these things and your optic lobe will process the image and I am inside your brain. If you know this much things, the greatest lesson of emotional intelligence have already come to you. So a person is showing a very bad thing to you. Where he is showing? Suppose you are in sleep, deep sleep, and somebody else comes in front of you and abuses you like anything in the all knowledge and all world I've ever seen in the type of language. Will you know? No. Why? Because you have shut off certain things. You can't, because your senses are not working and you are. This is an unconscious way of avoiding trouble. But can you think, if something is happening in front of you, you have the awareness that the same thing is perceived by my 5 senses and made an image in my brain. And I have the ability whether to make it a positive image or negative image. If this thing happens, you come to know the first step of emotional intelligence. Second thing, if somebody is praising you, you naturally get, see, you sir, you have put in 40 years of 30 years of service, you have given such a wonderful feedback, such a wonderful contribution in the world of education, naturally ud jayega. We keep going up. Sir, how nicely you're speaking, see how beautifully you are telling, see, naturally you start getting inflated because that is a normal phenomenon of life. You start feeling happy when things are going. And the second day, he's just putting you down. So what happens is that emotional intelligence deals with understanding that the awareness that I know the things happening outside is not happening outside, it is within me, and my consciousness paints the picture of my life in my brain. And if I want to make my life happy, there is no point in making how much amount of money I have, how much amount of knowledge I have, wherever I can go, I'll be a big zero if I don't work here. And that is the start of emotional intelligence. And who stops you from that? Nobody. And what do you need for that thing? only that normal 60 ml of fluid and hard one, that is what are things you eat. You know the difference between a biggest emperor and a beggar? They have a lot of difference for you, but for a human body, it is one and the same. The same 280 ml capacity of the stomach is there for both of them. You feed them with n number of dishes, they will only have one time they can only take. There is a limit, and that doesn't make any difference. So the main understanding for emotional intelligence is that whatever things is happening is my response to that event rather than the event per se. If a person starts understanding that issue, he knows that I have no control on the events happening outside to me, but I can get control on your brain. And our rest of the discussions is on the emotional intelligence. Let me tell you the four important pillars of emotional intelligence is perceiving emotion. See, next time when a person is just telling you or scolding you, understand that there is an emotion rising in me. Everything is emotions. I am getting irritated. You start labeling that thing. I am getting anger. That is a labeling. Understand the emotions. Next, if I respond to that anger at this particular moment, it will be a wonderful answer to that person. But in turn, this will revert me back in one or other way, and I may be in trouble. You're already in emotional intelligence. The last one, using emotions. There are certain places that I must display emotion. I will show that. There are certain places that I should refrain myself from doing emotion. I will stop that. That means you are playing with emotions with yourself, not with anybody's. You are not supposed to play with emotion of any other persons, but you are playing with emotions. Just understand that my awareness on the situations are nothing but hormones and playing the emotions in me. If I can manage that emotions, I can definitely make a balanced life. So that next day when that person insults me, I know he has done his part and went. I'm not going to take it clearly. And next time he's praising you up. Yes, I know he's praising, let him praise and go. Doesn't make any difference. That one sentence will change your world. It doesn't make any difference because you are the person who is giving the color, the acts performed by others. So that is the simple and final explanations of emotional intelligence. Let us see it again. I want to make this concept very clear to you. Self-awareness is the ability to recognize one's own emotion that is occurring, help to guide in decision making. I said, next time when something happens, you are starting aware that something is happening. And management. What is self-management? Ability to control and manage the emotions in the moment and adapt to rapidly changing circumstances. And self-motivation is that the ability to harness one emotion and use that energy to achieve that goal. That is the beauty. You will definitely you'll feel much better. You won't be asking for recognition from any place in the world. You will be naturally happy with what is happening to you. And even if something is happening wrong also, you'll be able to understand that that is temporary. Next thing is awareness. Awareness, again, the ability to recognize the emotions in others and being attuned to the signals of others and what they might want or need, and the ability to have empathy and compassion. I think the finest quality is understanding a person beside you, or understanding, in my way, I feel like understanding an animal that is presented to you. It takes next level of emotional intelligence. To understand what it is going through, you need to first tune it to your emotions. If not that thing, you cannot understand. For simple example, all of you might have got children in different age group. You suppose your 6-year-old boy or 10-year-old boy has come to you and asking for Papa, please do something for me. You are already in the helm of affairs. You are already in a burning seat. You will tell him, you get off, I'm busy with my things. See, for that boy, that time is most important. You are definitely going through that thing. If you have understood your emotion, that is, I am doing a job which may not be good for me, but I have to do it in time per se. But that boy who is bringing to me the issue is important for him. So if that thing, I'll tell, okay, I will see what it is there. Okay, then say, okay, I have a wonderful solution for your problem, but please bear with me. 10 minutes, I'll be back with a wonderful solution to you. That is emotional intelligence. Same thing is that dealing with your spouse, dealing with anybody who is there, because everyone in the world is dying to get recognized. Every person under the sun is asking for respect. Self-respect is something who is turning, everybody is seeking for that thing. And if you have that self-respect with you, you are definitely going to give that to others. If you don't have that thing, you are not going to do that things anyway. So in army, some lessons were taught to us in a very specific way. Like we have to motivate these jawans, especially When in times of wars, we motivate people with single sentence. So that like army slogans have arisen in so many things. So one thing like I always remember is like when we were told to speak on people, the first thing that we ask is like, you have to treat their ego first, because everybody has got that thing. So there is a saying, the rich man shows his richness, or the great man shows his greatness by the way he treats the small man. I can explain. Your boss has no need to make you please. He has got a greatest reservoir in front of him, that is his boss, and he is always serving him. But the day he decides to take care of you, he has invested on you, and he is going to take care of you. And the person is going to take care of the boss. A simple example. Just like a carpenter makes a stool with 4 legs, all people who are under you are the limbs for you to survive. Please understand that. And if you don't take care of the people who are under you, you are definitely going to crumble in one or other way. So the greatest richness that you can show to someone is that those people don't have. So please give. Giving gives you the greatest ability to understand the happiness. And that's why the social awareness become an important key for emotional intelligence. Knowing your emotions, recognizing and understanding other emotions, now managing your emotion and motivating yourself, and managing relationship and other emotions. These are the 4 important keys of emotional intelligence. Let us try to get a clear grasp of this concept with some good sayings, good quotes and examples, so that will give you definitely in a better way. So if you're tuned out of your emotions, you will be poor at reading them in other people. A simple example, when you are angry, you take a decision, definitely you are going to repent on that. No doubt in that. And when you are in extremely happy, you give a word to someone, you are definitely going to suffer that thing. Because the concept is that you can have an idea about your own emotions. Don't say that I am an emotion-proof individual, I don't have that, I am stoned 24 hours. No. You are a living being, getting tuned by the biochemistry of your body. You get change every second of your body because of the pulsations of the hormones playing in you. I know that. If that thing is clear to you, I am aware of the emotions happening in my body. That is the first stage of emotional intelligence, and everything will change, because change is natural phenomena. Nothing survives. Everything, every small change also comes with an expiry date, and every pulse have got an uphill and a downhill. If you have this much thing with you, you will start stopping making the biggest judgment statements. Now I am going to take you the biggest problem of stress and in your life is one thing is anger. Let me ask you, I have not found any beautiful definition than this thing. Just see the beauty of this sentence. Anger is the punishment that we give ourselves for someone else's mistake. You think, how do you feel this statement? I had found lots of incidents in my way after really understanding anger properly. Anger is something which will blind you for that period, and you started shivering, and you do all this thing and the spurt of the moments of anger. Then what exactly you are doing? It is the punishment. Your body is going through the emotional level in a worst way. For what? Nobody is stopping you from breathing and staying alive, but somebody is irritating you. Who is irritating you? That person. Why he is irritating you? Don't know. Then how he is irritating you? Just by sitting on your brain and eating you. Will you allow that? No. A simple thing, let him show whatever he wants. My principle happens with the consciousness principle. My image and the visual cortex process this image. I know that there is a fool who is doing playing jokes in front of me, and he is just acting. Doesn't going to make any difference to me. What he is displaying is his own emotions. Let him do that. That finished. The moment you understand this thing, your anger naturally has to happen. So ladies and gentlemen, this is the awareness alone is going to give you happiness in your life. I'm not telling this thing out of textbook knowledge. I've experienced something in a very hard way in an organized training program. I will explain to you in after few slides. Next, what you see outside the people is words, tonality, body language, and gestures. Everybody will display the best of their things in the first time they meet someone, or definitely you see the good thing. But slowly the deep structures within. This is the iceberg principle of Sigmund Freud, and this is the iceberg principle explained in so many contexts. It is explained. I'm sure a lot of teachers While using this thing for your teaching also, this one and Maslow's triangle used to be one of the biggest discussions some days to explain everything under the sun. Because just like Maslow triangle, you know, roti kapda makan, first thing you ask a person is that saab mere ko khana chahiye, bas I need something to eat. You give him food, he's okay. No, saab kapda to hona chahiye. I cannot move around without clothes. Okay, give, then is it okay? No, saab, हमें थोड़ा रहने का इंतजाम होना चाहिए. Is it okay? No. Next you will ask for more. And सब अकेला हूं मैं, कोई तो होना चाहिए साथ में. Given, then 2 people together, there is you. 3 people together, 2 + 1 happen. Rule. 4 people together, 2 + 2 happen. 5 people together, n number of combination happens. Now there is only one thing in him. सब मुझे तो इसके ऊपर सबसे ऊपर बनना चाहिए. And he want to climb upon everyone. There comes the biggest problem. And what is he trying to prove with every demand in his life? Because you are also making the same thing. I am also making the same thing. Within every living creature, there is something to express in its own unexplained potential. Everybody in the world is trying to express something or reach that level where he wants to experience some accomplishment. What is that accomplishment? That is the important thing. A simple example, you have reached this level, you are earning a monthly salary, a decent life you are living. 99% of the people population are under you, but still you feel there is something lacking in me. And what is that lacking? Ladies and gentlemen, that single search has led to the life-changing events of all the people who walked on the earth and contributed and set their life as examples, all the religious persona. And I must say that living legends have already they have created impact on such a thing human race that we don't have to look anywhere to find solution. We have to study their lives. One such person where you can all, of course, you have all your own religious way of dealing with, like if you say Krishna, if you say Allah, if you say anybody, Jesus, these guys got its own life and the principles said by them are already followed. But some of the people have laid out the principles with examples and they have lived and they have left something as principles also. If you study their life, you will get better idea about how they handle their emotions. Don't think that you are in the edge of the IT boom where the information technology and the electronic gadgets are ruling all of you. You still have the same old problems that you were when you were hunter-gatherer's life. So you are still looking for recognition, approval, emotions, satisfaction, and feeling to express and reach to your potential, because that is in different level. It is shown these things. So deep structure within you have got the values, beliefs, bias, prejudices, experiences, fears, dreams, and feelings. If you start controlling that thing to that level, but just understanding that I'm not something which is shown outside, I'm something which is deep inside. Still, there is under the iceberg, there are 2 portions, which is called subconscious and unconscious portion. Subconscious is one thing where I am filtering and trying to search to find out the reasons. Still, there is an unconscious level in my body, which I experience only in sleep. A staple example is that sleep is studied in depth in psychology. Because what happens in sleep, have you ever thought? You are going to sleep, you took sleep, and the morning you get up and say, I'm perfectly fine, fresh. If I ask you, where were you? Do you remember what happened in the night? No idea. Where were you? What is happening to your consciousness during that sleep is the ultimate search for so many principles. People like Ramana Maharshi and a lot of people have searched on this thing and asked this question, who am I? And that who am I has turned out to the finest qualities of human being, to go inside, to search inside, deep, deep within, and layer by layer understanding one's own potential, one's own personality, one's own brain, and understand that I am something much, much, much bigger that is being shown outside as in my body or in my mind. And that is the starting point of wisdom. That is going to give you the real relief from the stress. Now, I can only give you abstract concept during this presentation, but the ways definitely you have to search out yourself. How well you know yourself will show you how you are going to beautifully handle the stress in long term. And that is no school will help you to teach, that you have to learn by yourself, by your experience. And I will give you a few slides, which is definitely very interesting. So entire stress handling depends upon your personality. What is in your state of mind is going to decide what will happen. Okay. Now, physical, psychological, and culture are already explained, and psychological thing is taken a dominant thing because that is the one that influences your thinking behavior. Ladies and gentlemen, this is one simple slide I can tell you. You reflect upon your life. 10% is the only thing that is happening to you, and 90% is made up by you because of your reaction. Think in your life. You have n number of examples. I don't want to tell. Each one of you can show inside and say, you are afraid about something. See, one thing, the thing that you are afraid in your life will never ever happen. Something will happen in your life totally unexpected. That is for sure. So the 10% what has happened, somebody has done, see, neighbor has done something to me. 90% is Sala, wo itna kar diya mere ko, this much he has gone to that level. See what he is doing. I will take it to my cognitive process that every time I see his house from outside, I will start spitting. Why I am taking it that 90%? He has only done his 10% and you are contributing to this 90%. Food for thought, you should think and take time in understanding what exactly we are doing. And don't get upset with people or situation. Both are powerless without your reaction. This is one thing I want to again and again telling by understanding the concept of consciousness and how your images are proposed in your body and how botham, or the consciousness is giving you an explanation for what is happening in front of you. See, you are asleep, you don't know what's happening. You are aware, you know, because you take thinking and you interpret things in a very beautiful way. Now, never put the key or happiness to somebody else's pocket. If you understand this basic principle, if you understand this basic principle of emotional intelligence, you come to know, if I want to be happy, you put me anywhere, I'm not going to be happy unless I know the key that my happiness lands on my own thinking process. And that is the area which I want to work. Now, this is the basic principle of emotional intelligence. And when you see this thing, stop trying to calm the storm and calm yourself, the storm will pass. It's such a wonderful saying, a simple example. I hope all of you are with me. I am standing in a rainy day, full of mud in front of me. I am moving, so the rain has settled, but there is full of mud in front of me. I want to reach some destination. To reach that destination, please be careful. Every sentence, please take it clearly. Something serious will change in you. I want to reach from here to 1 kilometer to that destiny in a fully filthy, muddy road which I want to go. Will I put tiles the entire 1 kilometer and walk? Or I will buy a good pair of slippers and wear it and walk. You decide. Any human being will wear a chapel or a slipper and walk so that he won't get affected. This is your life. You are trying to fix the storm. You are trying to fix the people. Sala, uski wajah se main aisa ho gaya. I am because of my circumstances, my situations, my everything. He is not giving me respect. He is not torturing me. He is torturing me continuously. See, my wife has made me like this. My husband has made me like that. See, this person, my boss is the only person who has made me like this. Okay, the relation have spoiled my life. All things you say, you are trying to fix tile for that entire 1 kilometer and waiting for the tiles then to walk. Why do you want to fix the people? You have a wonderful area to fix. That is your attitude. Work on that attitude in a proper way. You understand that I will shield myself. I will decide what a person is going to be for me. So if you keep that thing, every thoughts are temporary. I'm not going to magnify the thing. Calm yourself. Calmness is the greatest superpower somebody can come. We'll come to the Stoic principles. It will be properly explained to you in a convincing way. So that is what I want to tell you. This is one of the important points to discuss, because this can be explained in religious perspective beautifully, because all religions have tried to give solution for these questions, and they have stories and they have explanations. One thing, if I tell in this forum, the easiest way to accept is our history properly documented other than the religion. That makes very good examples. That's why I selected Stoicism. Stoicism is a principle or a philosophy, which is a Hellenistic philosophy that is in Greek, basically founded by Zeno of Citium. In the early 3rd century BC, it happened. Stoics were those group of people who takes life in a different perspective. Their thought processes are still regarded as the live and the best principles to deal with stress management. I'm going to take you to that principles. Before that, Epictetus, Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, these are the people who have contributed a lot for giving this quality of emotional intelligence. Let me tell you about Epictetus. Epictetus was a slave. He was sold for a very short amount of money from one person has bought him. 35 years of his life, he lived like a slave. But a day came and he was come out of his slavery. He was the greatest philosopher that ever mankind have seen, and he has written his explanation on how to take insults. Still regarded as the golden testimony. You just browse on Epictetus, you will get n number of quotes. Marcus Aurelius, on the other hand, he was a Greek emperor. He had all the luxury in him in forms of everything, material possessions, whatever he wishes, he used to get. But he decided to leave everything and he's just searching for peace, and he has developed a certain thinking process. And that is Marcus Aurelius. And he, of course, these people have got a beautiful end as death, because they have left the world after leaving so many things and giving so many things to the mankind. Seneca again, Seneca is clearly beautifully has written certain quotes are so beautiful and make so sense to you. You can see it's working in your life. Let's see the Stoic way of emotional intelligence. I will take a small break of few seconds just to make my thought clear. During this process, I want one or two feedback. Please tell me, am I going in the right way? Anybody can speak on. Is it okay? Are we going? Are we together? Okay, Nisha, I can hear you. Okay, thank you. So shall we proceed?
Well, I just want to know something. Like,
Yeah.
can I use Hindi? Like,
आराम से. Go ahead. बताइए.
अभी तक जो मैंने अपने हिसाब से जो देखा समझा लाइफ में जो भी है, यूजुअली गुस्सा आता है. गुस्सा मैंने कहीं पढ़ा था इनफैक्ट ये चीज कि गुस्सा आपको तब आता है जब कोई आपका फायदा हो रहा हो और आपके फायदे के बीच में कोई आ जाता है. मतलब you are getting benefited for something and someone who blocks that benefit, then you get then this is the one reason when you are angry.
Okay.
Right. So obviously we are also human beings, and I can simply relate that yes, this happens. If I'm getting benefited of something and and I want to get that thing, and if someone tries to block that my gain, मुझे गुस्सा आएगा.
बढ़िया. Very good. Very good. Very good interpretation. But shall I ask you one thing?
Yes.
साला वो क्यों करेगा आपको गुस्सा? उसका दिमागी तौर पे उसके दिमाग में क्या चल रहा है, आपने कभी सोचा है? The greatest pleasure he gets is to make you feel distressed. वो उसी के लिए तो कर रहा है. आपके जो भी आप भुगत रहे हैं अभी, वो क्यों कर रहा है? His intention is to make you put on fire, and he is making you fire, and he is happily enjoying. And why you should make him enjoy? The easiest way is that if you understand, I am doing certain response, seeing him, he wants that. Will you give that and make him more flourish? That's why the level of emotional intelligence is seeing things in a different way, different perspective. आप जो देख रहे हैं उसी आपकी हिसाब से जो है वो बंदा जो है आपको बार बार तरस रहा है, और he is trying to get out of he is trying to make you more and more impatient. He is giving you always this type of stress team. अगर आप उस तरीके से देखें, आप अब देखो बारीक से देखना सीखो. अगर आपको दूसरी तरीके से अगर आप इसको देखेंगे कि क्या कर रहा है वो बंदा अपना फ्रस्ट्रेशन निकाल रहा है, उसके लिए कोई एक्सप्लेनेशन तो होगा ही होगा उनके पास, पर वो अल्टीमेटली क्या चाहते हैं? आपकी खुशी निकल जाए. आई कैन टेल यू वन थिंग, आपकी खुशी एक वजह से निकलना जाए इसलिए वो कर रहा है ऐसे. आप ये जानबूझ के, ये जान बहुत बड़ी इंपॉर्टेंट वर्ड है, ये जानबूझ के अगर आप ये समझ गया कि वो बंदा मेरे को उस लेवल उस हालत में ले जाने के लिए कोशिश कर रहा है, then you start seeing things like a person who is observing things outside. I will tell you with a small story, it will help many people around here. I think when I start speaking about that issue, I have to tell my experience, then only things will work out for me for the subsequent sessions. My dear friends, I had a wonderful interaction in a Buddhist monastery. I was posted in a border, China border, for 3 beautiful years when I was working in Indian Army. Indian Army remote veterinary corps where I have to work with जो हमारे पास जो है घोड़ा और खच्चर जो है, they take things to the non-motorable roads where nothing can happen. So we have something called as winter exercise, in which we keep winter stocking exercise, in which our whole battalion will go up and we work in the non-motorable tract. Okay, so it was in Arunachal China border, and where I was working is a monastery very close to that. I saw in line they keep this monks keep going and coming back, and these people are very disciplined. They used to get bell and other things, and they keep smiling to us when our exercise keep happening. And as an officer, you have a wonderful lifetime there. People are there to take care of you, and you have to just do inspections and take care of your animals and men and all of the things you are doing. But I am very much drawn to one person in that monastery, one very, very white, very looking gent. I don't know what is in his glow. I don't know what he was showing in his face. मैं बता नहीं सकता हूँ कि उसके मन में क्या, उसके चेहरे पे क्या रौनक था, but it was totally shocking for me. Daily I used to go for the morning walk, and this fellow is also coming, and he keeps smiling me, and naturally got drawn to him. And I asked him, sir, what's your name? So he was speaking beautiful English. In fact, he was a foreigner. That itself was shock to me. He introduced me in his new name of Dorje. Dorje is like a common name of it, monks, something happens. But his name is something else, some Philip Alexa, something, some big name. And this person is a microbiologist. He's from Sweden, worked for 30 years. He was in a professorship in a university, left everything, came back and became a monk. In the remotest part of the world, in the borders of Himalayas or the border of the mountain ocean. I'm drawn totally to this thing. He invited me to this monastery. I was dumbstruck to see what happening in the monastery. The big Buddhist statues are there. They keep chanting. They have the bells and other things. But I spent around 3 months, specifically 3 months, daily interactions. And I'm certain that much of my confusions have gone. And what he said to me, the principles of especially dealing with anger, I still carry with you. He used to say, every time an anger struck in you, every time an anger is coming to you, just know that you are angry. That is the only answer he said. He's not telling me to stop me anger. I said, sir, मेरे को गुस्सा आता है. I used to get. I'm telling you, my dear friends. I was not like this before. I was a hell of a chap. I know how I handled myself. Now it is different. It was not overnight happened or 1 month happened or something like that. But certain practices have made me and benefited me. I am experiencing that thing. My patients are getting benefited because of me, just because of I am able to maintain a certain thing of things with me, certain discipline with me, certain understanding I'm having with me, principle of emotional intelligence. What he is telling is that every time an emotion is coming to you, be aware that that emotion is coming to you. You don't know because we are unaware. अगर आप इसी तरीके से जगह अगर ये बंदा मेरे को बहुत गुस्सा कर रहा है, that if you are able to label, because that time also you get blind, you become blind, your faculties get closed. A simple example he gave me at that time, it was that he asked me, measure you're walking, you're traveling in a car. Suddenly your car met with an accident. How do you assess the injury of your car? He asked. Sandeep sir, can you just give me an answer? अब गाड़ी चला रहे किसी ठोक दिया किसी को, आपको पता करना है कि कितना नुकसान हुआ है आपके गाड़ी को. What are the techniques that you use?
Definitely, first of all, we will look at the physical appearance of the.
बहुत बढ़िया. आप कहाँ से look करेंगे उसको?
From the part, it has been come into the contact of that accident. अगर मतलब जिस तरफ से टक्कर लगी है, अगर पीछे से गाड़ी ठोकी है तो पीछे से देखेंगे, आगे से ठोकी है तो आगे से देखेंगे. ठीक है, उससे पहले आप कुछ करेंगे? उससे पहले आप गाड़ी चला रहे हैं, आप तो ड्राइवर सीट में ही है, गाड़ी तो ठोक थी क्योंकि आपकी गलती से, चलो आपकी गलती से हो गया, so you have stamped on some other vehicle. How will you assess? are you talking about the damages to my vehicle or damages to my emotions? Like,
No, I'm not telling about emotion. Just speak in the context, physical context. Your vehicle has got. You want to understand आपके bonnet निकल गया या headlight निकल गया, आप कैसे assess करेंगे? Participants, be very careful. If you have a very interesting answer, you can contribute. Sandeep sir, I'm grateful to Sandeep sir for putting these questions because there is a wonderful story has come and I can able to explain you beautifully one more concept to you.
well, first of all, I'll get out of the car.
That's it, sir. That's it. You said the answer. You said the answer. अगर आपको जिंदगी में कहीं भी नुकसान हुआ है, पहले आप बाहर आ जाइए. Don't make your speculation inside your vehicle and telling that his vehicle has got that thing. That is what you have to do when you have an anger. Come out. See yourself as a third person and see, साला क्या कर रहा था मैं अभी तक ऐसे अंदर बैठ के. That is the way of emotional intelligence. That's a beautiful explanation I can give you for the emotional intelligence. And that's what the Stoic principles and philosophies has happened. Anyway, thank you, Sandeep sir. You have taken the discussion at a different level. So shall we continue?
Sure, sir.
Thank you. I hope the concept is clear to many of you, might have got clear idea. And now let us see the Stoic way of emotional intelligence. Participants, be with me for another 5 minutes. You are going to get some 5 big treasures. Stoicism was a principle that is laid out by these people. They have given these principles, like recognize that jab bhi, whenever things happening in your life, you put it always under 2 categories, whether you have a control or you don't have a control. Now this become very sharp and blunt way of problem solving. Okay, आपके हाथ में कुछ है, or example you met with an accident, you broke your bone. Nothing can be done. It has to be operated and it needs some time to get settled. Do you have anything in your control? The answer is no. You determine your reaction to a crisis. That means I can either keep on telling that the whole life has gone because my hand has got fractured, or I can say that it's fractured. It will heal. It can become normal. It's up to you. Ignore people dominated by their own negative emotions. अगर आपको you are handling with this thing is a sir, अरे इसका तो गया, अभी ये पुराने तरीके से हाथ नहीं हिला सकेगा. That is their emotions. You just understand that they are in their own emotion. That's okay. Master yourself and aim to be virtuous. I know how I am going to take this incidents. It is with me, and learn to move on. That will give explanation. I have just explained it with an incident, and now I will give you 5 important coins of Stoicism that is given. Be here. It's going to change life if you clearly meditate on this thing. Just by attending these slides, it may not help, but you have to think after the session. First thing, Stoic principles are based on these Greek words. Some principles will be there, and they have explained this thing. First principle is that summum bonum. Summum bonum means do the right thing which you're supposed to do in the right time, in the right place. सही चीज सही टाइम पे सही तरीके से सही जगह पे सही बंदे से करना है. Okay. Summum bonum. Do the thing in the right time, in the right way, the best way. See, something you have to do. You have gone to this thing. If you met with an accident, doctor said take tablet. Take the tablet with all devotions, the best possible way. He said to have 1 tablet half an hour before food, 1 tablet half an hour after food, and do certain things, don't certain things, just follow the instruction. Or something like what needs to be done in the right time. For example, आप father हो, आपके बच्चे को admission दिलाना है, get the best school, teach him, get him admission in the right time without any delay. You do this thing. You are applying for a job, do the application in the prescribed format, in the best of your ability, and do it. That is summum bonum. Next is premeditatio malorum. Anything can go wrong. Stoic says anything can go wrong because that is a rule. The easiest way is negative visualization. Many of you may get objected with this point, but Stoics say negative visualization or premeditatio malorum means you will expect the worst scenario that can happen in your life with that problem. Just be aware of that. So something agar ho gaya, if it won't fuse properly, my hand may get defected. So if I know, I shall have to be very careful so that I won't reach that level. I will try my level, but if something goes wrong, that thing, of course, I have to find another way for that solution. But at least that particular feeling that something goes wrong, rather than hey, kuch nahi hoga, I will be perfectly fine. You are living into the level of this premeditative malorum means life will improve, because it is negative visualization can give you positivity. Like any situations you are into, expect the worst what will happen and get prepared for that thing. Indian Army work with, or not only all armies work with these principles of Rimettatum Malorum. What the worst scenario happens, you have to be prepared for yourself. That is one of the biggest motto. Amor fati. Amor fati is love your fate. Whatever wrong thing has happened in my life, I just enjoy. If you have the guts to say this thing, whatever has happened, it has happened. Because I don't have anything. Fate is something which is not in your control. So amor fati means Stoic says, accept your fate, and you will see how beautiful things happens. Porososhe. To explain porososhe, I need to take you to Buddhism. Without Buddhism, I won't be able to explain porososhe. Porososhe is a concept called mindfulness. Mindfulness is remain in the present moment, because all problems arises in the past or in the future. So staying and tuning into the present moment will be revolutionized your life, and you can see things happening in a better way. That is porososhe. So I will again show you these things with a different perspective. Last and the best principle, Momento Mori. It's also called Memento Mori. Visualize your death. Ladies and gentlemen, I may be very blunt, but I can tell you, everybody has come with an expiry date. If you know that thing, it's wonderful, but none of us know that tomorrow morning we are alive or not. How many years, how many days, whatever. When something happens, we are leaving everything that we have done here and going to somewhere else. But the moment you know that you are here for a short period of time, your life will definitely get better. The greatest problem the humanity have ever faced in the form of corruption or whatever it may be, the downtrodden, poor and downtrodden are being, so exploitation, everything is happened because people think that they will live here forever. If you are able to control this thing by just knowing that everybody has come with an expiry date, death is the only certainty in life, your life will change. That is Momento Mori principle. Stoics took these 5 principles very seriously, and they had given so many wonderful things, like, see, Epictetus saying, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Now, these are very important. Marcus Aurelius, in one of his personal books called The Meditations, it is a collection of his saying. Again, one of my personal favorite of all the time is, nearer a man comes to a calm mind, the closer he is to the strength. It's true. You can experience that thing. If somebody is making you angry, and if you're able to make and remain it calm with a common understanding that he's displaying emotions, he is telling out of his frustration. His aim is to make me frustrated. But sorry, I'm not getting frustrated. I'm not going to lose my calmness. That is the greatest thing a person can achieve. He is very much close to the strength. Now, another important thing is we suffer more in our imagination than in reality. I've said already, it has been put in other words, life is what 10% happening to you and 90% is how your reaction is that. Now, this is the Stoic way of doing things. And they say, try to enjoy the festival of life. I mean, what is life is all about is other than this thing. See, I had lots and lot of struggles. I cannot explain now in this stage. If you're seeing me happy and enjoying and speaking to you, I have my own share of drastic changes and reality in physical form, in the mental form, in all forms I have enjoyed. I've gone through that. Same thing will be with any one of you sitting here also. But only thing, when I decided to enjoy the life as a festival, now nothing come in front of me. Now, this is the attitude I said. Any stress is happening to you. If you're unconscious, it will be affected to you. If you're conscious, you're going to conquer it to you. And see, let each thing you would say or intend be like that of a dying person. Very confusing, but say, see, imagine, I'll give you only half an hour. See, somebody said, and somebody, see, God has come in front of you and tell that, sorry, brother, I'll give you only 1 day time. Tomorrow, you have to come with me. What you will do in the next day? Imagine, very dangerous exercise, but Buddhist people have told me to do this thing. And I've imagined in my life become much better. I start seeing only beauty. I will come to know all unimportant things which I am doing and all vices I am doing as no way, because only 1 day is remaining in front of me. I have to give my best thanks or whatever it may be to so many people. I would like to enjoy so many dishes which I want to have in very small time of time. Now, this is an exercise that can reveal you. I'm not telling this thing out of book reading or something like that. I've practiced this thing and I've seen the change in me. I'm telling you that it's improving me day by day. So Momento Mori is one of the wonderful principles that you can do. And everything is temporary. Emotions, thought, people, and scenery. Imagine how many people have lived in front of us. How many people have gone this walked this pathway. Now, how many people have become memory? And tomorrow, me and you is going to be a memory. Some maybe our next generation or next generation may remember us. After that, where are we? So do not become attached and just flow with it. Everything that is a reality. If you don't understand this reality, life will again come. Now I'm taking you to the last and the most important part of my discussion, that is mindfulness. This is the principle which will definitely allow you to understand the importance of present moment, accept what you are having, and be aware. So 3 pillars is awareness. Please understand that whatever things is happening in front of your life is because of the senses are able to get this thing. Just like a sensors are working, it will work. Sensors are not working, it won't work. So awareness is needed. We are doing everything unconsciously because life is like that. Now acceptance, whatever has happened, okay. So it's okay. The moment you don't accept that thing, there will be always it keep eating your brain. Whatever has happened is acceptance, okay. Now I am having the most important thing with me, that is the present moment. And if you meditate on that thing, it becomes mindfulness. It means paying attention on a particular way on the purpose, non-judgmentally. This is one sentence which can be explained with many slides, but I would like to take you to this definition that is between, okay, I will take it that later. Now see, paying attention on the purpose in the present moment, non-judgmentally, gives the explanation of mindfulness. Even though it is easy to be spray, but just see when a person is, whatever things you are doing in your life, always observe that what is happening. You feel that what you're happening. Try to restrain your thoughts in the present moment and in the past moment. It's very difficult. There are small techniques which are proven technique, without which is not possible. We will see it later. Now, coming to the definitions of mindfulness again, Viktor Franklin has again given a different definition, that is between stimulus, and I think this is the most convincing rather than giving you confusing definitions. Between a stimulus and a response, there is a space. It is that space in our power to choose our response. In our responses lies our growth and our freedom. I would like to explain to you with this small slide. You are walking, somebody threw a stone at you. Immediately you pick the stone and turn it, give him another throw because you hurt very badly physically. That is the stimulus, is the stone. Reaction is rethrowing the stone. Let's make it clear. With mindfulness, a person is going through that thing. When a stimulus happens, mindfulness, you just take a pause between your response. That's between your reaction. Then that will become response. I want all of you to just understand the great difference between the reaction and the response. Reaction happens spontaneously to a stimulus. The response, act thoughtfulness, that you will know, you will react, you will take a small pause before that thing. That pause is nothing but an awareness that what he has said and what I'll be saying and what will happen. That you just think, and you have a choice either to throw the stone against him or else just rub your head and ask, what is the problem? Now that makes the difference. Now mindfulness give you be aware of the present moment rather than making judgment. And that is the greatest thing. If you can make, you can see a lot of difference in your life. That is present moment, of course, is only available to us. That is a door to all moments. This is the slide which I want to give more important in this presentation. That is, we all have come in such a way that right from the beginning, people are told to do certain things and don't do certain things. Like we have been living our life with 2 bags, one a good bag and a bad bag. Whenever a person is coming, yeah, ye badhiya hai, ye, this is not good. This is not good. This is good. This person is not good. This person is good. This person has hated me. This person is loving me. See, this is the thing. A human mind has always have a tendency to get something which is good and avoid something which is bad. And that is based on the little knowledge on incidences or events or situations or circumstances or equipments or materials, without knowing that or without having awareness. Now, judging a person doesn't define who they are. It defines who you are. I have a wonderful boss who once told me, I'm having a hunch and my belly is popping out. In fact, if you ask me, I am not aware that I am having that thing. I was not knowing that I had that thing because I asked few of my good friends. He said, you don't have these two things. But then I thought these two things he is having. So that is one of an explanation why it happens. So what happens is that judging a person doesn't define who they are. It defines who you are. You ever thought of telling this thing? Many times you give sarcastic remarks to people. These are the unexplained or untold statements which are bubbling inside you will pop out as a sentence and forms of judgments. Now, this is one thing very important. The more judgmental a person is, the more lack of peace of mind and horrible his life is going to be. Now, I'm going to take you the most important slide of this presentation. This is the science. Now we have know what to do now. Now we are going to see the process. Now science. An average healthy person will have 12 breaths per minute. Calculations. 12 into 16 to 24 will make you 7,280 breaths in a day if you do a sedentary life without knowing anything, without doing anything. 17,280 breaths in a day you are doing. You know, the only thing that defines death and life is your breath. The moment day you are born, you started taking breath by yourself, and you will struggle in the last moment of your death in which you will be struggling for a breath. I hope it's very clear. This is the statement I've taught myself, or I have learned it from the monastery. Breath is the link between mind and body. If you want to enjoy your life, you enjoy your breath. How do you enjoy your breath? It is not by observing your breath and inhale, exhale, anulom, vilom, nothing. All these things are bullshits in part of this practice. It is just be aware. Be aware about every breath you are taking. Means you are doing a very serious task. You are writing letters also, so you are writing something, or you are presenting also. Feel the breath once in a while that I am breathing. This keeps you aware because you know what happens. Be very careful. When you stop and observe your breaths, your thoughts will stop. Thoughtless state is the happiest state a person can experience. So if you want to experience happiness, you want to stop the thoughts. That is clear. Now, will it sustain? Never. 2 breaths you will explain, you will be able to experience. Third one, another thought will come. Buddhist says, the principles of mindfulness, they say, let it come, let it go. Thoughts are visitors. Let them come and go. Why the hell do you want to serve tea? Why do you want to serve them tea? Let them come and go. A good thought came and go. Came and went. Bad thought came and went. Doesn't matter. It's just like a breath. You keep flowing. Apne level pe bindas raho. You are having the greatest gift of being alive because you know you are alive. Half of the people listening this seminar and 90% of the people who are living under the sun don't know that they are alive. They are alive in their past or in the future. If you are able to come to the present moment, life will uphold in front of you lots and lots of possibilities. That is the greatest way. Believe me, my dear friends, there is no stress in the present moment at that time when you are aware. The greatest way of doing stress management is not you doing yoga therapy, not doing all these principles. This is the ultimate way of stress relief which I've experienced, and I'll tell you why. I have seen the costliest training program in Indian Institute of Management, Lucknow. I am an alumni of IIM Lucknow. I was lucky to get sponsored by Indian Army and I did my management program there. You won't believe. Lakhs and lakhs are spent to get a lecture on how to reduce your stress by observing your breath. He's not telling anything. He's just telling you, just observe your breath. Yes, he went. He took a big remuneration and went. So this is the ultimate training given to the biggest corporate people. The greatest corporate giants come there and get a training to understand how to breathe. And you know who is training? Those monks from the Himalayas and all those people who are coming here and train, getting one class and just taking food. They won't tell you arms, inhale, exhale. No, they are telling you the basic principles. If you want to enjoy your life, you should be alive. If you want to be alive, you should breathe. If you don't know what your breathing is, then what is the use of being alive? So first understand breath is a gift. Start enjoying the breath. Spend 5 to 10 minutes daily doing nothing and just observing your breath. This I do and it has turned my life. Observe your breath. For within 3 breaths, a thought will come, let it go. Another will come, let it go, but observe your breath. Expand your lungs and exhale and just enjoy and feel everything that is happening in your body. You will ultimately come to know, I'm not my body, I'm not my mind, I'm something else. Start searching for that. There is no stress there. Every stress ends there. That is scientifically proven. And this is what all religions have clearly explained. And this is what I'm taking this route to give you that path. And always you can explore this thing in your own experience and see. Slow breathing like an anger in midst of emotional storm. See, when you are irritated, when you are getting angry, संदीप साहब आपसे ही है, अगर आप किसी को ऊपर गुस्सा हो रहा है, have you ever seen the first thing happening in your life is increase in your breathing? आप ऐसे your breath will go up and down.
Right.
That is the first thing. Now, can you revert it? अगर आप, if you keep inhale and exhale in slow point, you can see your mind will come back. Pure science, experience, practice, and if it is okay, only take, otherwise throw it away.
Well, it's as simple, because we are breaking the thought. Actually, what you are saying, that take a breath. If I look at it from my point of view, what we are actually practicing is we are breaking that thought chain.
Absolutely true.
That's exactly what we are doing.
This is what they do. Every 1 hour, they give one bell. Monasteries. I asked, what is happening? He said, you have to stop whatever you do. Simply breathe 2-3 breaths and do whatever you want. Then I started keeping alarm in my phone and just feeling that thing. I'm seeing the difference. Now it happens unconsciously with me. I've given visual clues to my, like when I look at my watch, I have to do breathing. I take 2-3 breaths. I said, this is only what I am for. And I see nothing is going to end. And see, there is a biggest story. Let me tell you that story. There was a fisherman who used to fish a lot of fishes, and he was one day he was just lying with his buddy on a sand with heads like this, and say that he asked that fellow asked, "Are Ustad, आप क्या सोच रहे? अरे छोड़ दे, अरे बताओ साहब क्या सोच रहे? चल बताता हूँ." ऐसा है, one day will come, I am going to fish like anything. मैं इतना फिशिंग करूंगा कि I am going to make it large and I'll buy a big boat. That fellow asked, साहब उसके बाद आप क्या करेंगे? I'll make a biggest ship a person can imagine. Then उसके बाद मैं उसको लेके जाऊंगा. I will supply the fish to the entire continent. उसके बाद I'll make a biggest mansion that anybody can imagine. Okay, उसके बाद उसके ऊपर छत पे ऐसा बना दूंगा कि बढ़िया सा बिस्तर and everything will be done. Then उसके बाद ऐसे ही आकाश में देख के I will just look at आसमान में देख के ऐसे खड़े रहेंगे. The बंदा asked him, साहब वही तो कर रहा है आप अभी भी. This is what life is all about. It doesn't take too much things to be happy. Just be aware of what you are. Enjoy your breath to the fullest possibility. No Tom, Dick and Harry or nothing under the sun is able to touch you without your permission. And why do you want to fix the world? Even after this COVID-19, Nipah, pandemics, all this thing, flood and everything, do you think human race have changed? Problems will come. Biggest corona is waiting for us. Biggest Nipah is waiting for us. Life corruptions will never end. Continents will again merge. Continents will again create problems. Yes, sir.
I just want to say one thing. Like,
yeah,
you have just a few seconds away, you have just said, biggest corona is still waiting. Biggest things are, the disease are still waiting. Now, what I looked at it as, you have prepared yourself for what may have happened worst. So you have accepted it. Premeditatio malorum.
5 slides back, I've explained to you.
Right. You have already, that's what I'm just connecting that. So what you have just said
Absolutely
is
true.
You have already accepted it.
Sandeep sir, pata hai, the biggest hard thing is none of us taught these wonderful principles. Sala 8th standard, after 12th standard, after getting graduation, post-graduation, after PhD. No, I don't want to use that word. I've taught me this thing. Kyun? Because subtle facts in life and the best thing in life are free. You have to experience and learn yourself. And I have seen life changing beautifully by observing this principle. Thank you, sir, for sharing your wonderful thoughts. Now we'll proceed further and we are nearing to the end slides. Observe your thoughts. We can change the way we think from the moment we are aware of that we are thinking. That's what I'm telling. The first explanation is very simple. Spend around 5 to 6 moments a day, maybe more than that. Every hour, just take a breath and say that I'm alive. Nothing. Because this is what you are doing in an ICU, just to get a breath with the help of ventilators. Let me do it now. Nobody, who the hell is the boss? What is he going to give you, torture you? He will show all this notangi there. Why I should take it? Is he holding my neck and telling me don't take breath? No, why I should take care of that? My priorities are clearly set in. My peace of mind is in my hand. I will do my best of the abilities to the world as long as I'm alive. Finish, no? 100 and millions and trillions and people have gone in front of me. They have not left any footstep, neither will I. But at least I am aware that things are happening. And this awareness is the beautiful thing that you can go. This is the foundation step, ladies and gentlemen. I have not come to the end. This is the foundation step. Don't think that this is the end. This is the beginning of self-realization. Now you have to work on. I'm not qualified to speak you further because I am also in the journey. I'm still experiencing daily, but I can tell you life is getting better and better, beautiful and beautiful. Not only me, everybody is connected to me are getting benefited. That itself indicates that I'm going in the right direction. Now, the greatest weapon against stress is our ability to choose one thought or another. A negative thought happens, turn it to a positive thought. You have the ability. So first thing is awareness. Without awareness, nothing will happen. And judging a person does not define who they are. I've already explained. I'm putting it again because this is one thing, because we all have suffered branding. Oh, I say yeah. And that has led to a lot of issues. Now try to those things, accept everything, power of action, stop resisting and find a lesson. And finally, complain. Now, this is something, agree, this is the biggest problem. We keep on complaining about the thing. You ask a person, how do you feel? I'm okay. That is the answer. In Malayalam, we say, kolpamilla. Why do you want to put that kolpam in front? Why do you want to put the bad thing in that good sentence? That is our life. We start finding negativity. Now, never waste a second for life of complaining. Complaining doesn't solve problems. It attracts them. The more you complain, the more problems you will have. And believe me, none of the problems in your life are because of other people. It is solely because of your attitude and how you are seeing things. If you can change that thing, you can handle stress beautifully and learn the art of letting go. If you hold any grudge against any person, if you hold any difficulty against any person, let it go. That is the greatest thing that you can do. If you love someone, let him go. And it will come back to you. It has to come back. If you start thinking that no, it will stay with you, it will go and it will never come back. So throw it out. Don't expect anything. Leave it. Give it. As much you can give, throw it off. You will be the happiest person on earth. Aaj tak aapne ever you have saved something for you, do you think you have come to your use properly? It will never. The one that you saved will be used by somebody else. Because what you can right now do is that whatever if you have something, give it and see it in the happiness of other people. And breathe and let go and remind yourself that is very moment is the one that you have for sure, and the art of letting go. You cannot control everything, but you can always control how you. I am repeatedly telling because at the end point, something will come into your mind and will make you feel better and you think in those directions. And this is the last and the most important thing I want to tell you, power of smile. In every struggle, in every war, the moment you decided to smile, you have won. Even if people have told that you are a failure, you say, I smile, means I am ready for the next battle. Nobody can fight with you if you decided to keep a smile, because people and the enemy wants you to show a winged face. If this ability to smile is in your brain, if you keep that thing frequently, it transmits smiles to others. You can see life happening, love people spreading from you. You will transmit a source of energy to so many people if you decide to smile. So smiling is one of the biggest way to reduce the stress, and always start living in a very, today at least start with your smile, calmness of mind, coolness of emotion, heart filled with gratitude. Gratitude is the greatest quality that one person can expect. All of you, I want all of you to just remember, you close your eyes and think who all people have gave you so many things. At this moment, I am so much gratitude. I am just remembering so many people in my life. The parents who made me alive, and my spouse who is standing by me in times of difficulties and differences, whatever it may be. My kids who are there always with me, and I am able to give. And so all my clients which I am treating, and some of the wonderful friends who came into my life and recognized my abilities. I'm sure they are listening from somewhere. I am thankful to you because they are making my life much and much better. So many people are giving and so many things are there. If you start counting coins, you will always get coins. If you start counting some papers like something else, you will always get that. It's a choice to you either to count positivity or negativity. And whatever you do as a teacher, this is exclusively for the teachers. Note it down if possible, stick it on your wall. None of your lessons will be remembered, guarantee. People will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never ever forget how you made them feel. Treat them like kings and queens. They deserve that because they have the potential to grow and reach the best of their abilities. As a teacher, I've been trying for this thing. Not it's like a conscious effort is to make them feel better, because that is the greatest thing that you can give for a person. To conclude, stress is absolutely normal. Pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. You have to decide whether to get suffered by a stress or not. There is stress. Stress will give pain. If you want to get stressed, you go ahead. Or else, optional, you have a solution. Self-discovery is the only solution. And the first thing in self-discovery starts understanding your body, mind, your energies. If your body has got a certain figure of sweetness, we call it like what is a health. If your mind has got certain level of sweetness, we call it happiness. If your emotions are in certain sweetness, we call it love. So if you want to go ahead with a very smooth way, you can always think, and awareness creates freedom that gives you the potential to enjoy life. Every day is an opportunity. Every moment is a school to test these things. And finally, always be happy. And in this particular time of pandemics also, to understand that your best things are happening. So a training program like this getting organized, people are from different part of the country and listening to a person. I have not seen you also, but I feel connected to every one of you. We all are part of an integrated soul, and it's just a thing like I'm able to see you in my mind. And I wish you all a wonderful and happiness in your life through self-discovery. Explore the thing. You are your own teacher. Always remember, you hold the choice to respond than to react. Life will definitely smile back to you, and you will be a better person. I'm sincerely thankful to the organizers for having invited me on a short notice. I was contacted very recently. Luckily, I got a slot today because out of my professional thing, but I'm happy. I also got rejuvenated talking to you. Now the topic is open for discussion. I would like the organizers to take ahead and take the discussions. I'm happy, more than happy to share my experience, any other clarifications needed. Once again, thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for such a wonderful session. Participants, if you have any comments or any doubts, you can ask now.
The feedbacks, feedbacks may be very much helpful for others as well.
Yeah, sir. Chat box is flooded with
okay.
Congratulations. Anybody, please come forward and say your feedback.
Well, I would just love to say thanks. Thanks to Mr. Nair and the organizers as well, because mostly in FDPs, most of the time, these kind of sessions are not there. But thank you for keeping the space for this kind of session.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Sandeep sir. Thank you, sir. So thank you, Sudheesh sir, for such a very fruitful, informative session. So now I invite Dr. Julie M. David, Assistant Professor, MES College, Marampalli, for proposing the vote of thanks. Ma'am, please.
Thank you, Indu. Respected resource person, Dr. Sudheesh P. Nair, and all participants for actively participating in this session. On behalf of MES College, Marampalli and ATAL, I extend a really hearty gratitude to our resource person, Dr. Major Sudhip Nair, he spent his valuable time with us for the concept of emotion intelligence and stress management. It is very interesting and informative. I hope this would bring a great impact in your life. Thank you, sir. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much, Sudhir sir, for accepting
Thank
our
you.
invitation, especially this short in a short time period. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. And thank you so much, participants. Here comes the end of our 5-day-long FDP. On behalf of our Department of Computer Applications and MES College, Marampalli, I thank you all for making this FDP a very successful one. Thank you all. Once again, thank you all. And if you need any assistance in implementing Moodle in your institution, Department of Computer Applications is already willing to help you. So if you need any assistance, please inform us. We are with you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, participants. Thank you, Sudhir sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
There is just a small announcement. Please do not forget to submit your feedback in ATAL site. Please log on to your ATAL-FDP site and submit the feedback as early as possible. Thank you.